This week on Chicago Beer Pass, Nick and I are drinking Lens from Half Acre as we talk about everything that went down at FoBAB, as well as way too much beer news that happened over the past few days. All that and more on this week's episode.
Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, the cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milkshake wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. Every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
Should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
We survived the infamous FoBAB.
Dude.
Infamous.
Did we survive it? I don't know. You're stumbling at the gate.
I don't know. We did it.
We, the 17th annual. I have not been to all of these, but maybe since like 2010. I think I might have maybe been to all of them.
I missed 1 year somewhere in there. I think 1 year at the UIC for some reason. I think I've only been to 3 years.
Where they are now,
yeah.
right?
I don't know. It's a blur.
It is. That's why I'm glad we got outlets like this so we can
document it.
Remember more than if we didn't have the show, we would remember a lot less of what we did.
Yeah, it's our history of drinking.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to dive into FoBAB here in just a minute. But as always, we're drinking local Chicago beer. And we got some Half Acre beer.
Man, this is the official, unofficial Half Acre podcast, Brad.
Mm-hmm. They did a collaboration with Cloudwater. I'm rocking my hat.
You are rocking the sweet Cloudwater hat. Now, this was on one of your out-of-town excursions. I don't know where Cloudwater is, right?
Yeah, so they're out in London, in the UK.
Over in London town.
But we went to the one, in London. But the main brewery, I think, is in Manchester. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they have a location in London. In the beer mile thing.
It's like, yeah. Oh, yeah, Sean Curry, correct. He's like, it's a beer mile.
Yeah, whatever the actual name is, he's going to correct us on this. But it's underneath the train tracks, and it's like this brewery after brewery after brewery.
That sounds fun, though.
Cloudwater and Paint by Numbers or Beer by Numbers, they're right next door to each other, and they are both fantastic.
I'm amazed at Half Acre even, it's not amazed, but it's fun that you learn about all these different breweries through some of their friends. You went there, so I've seen the logo, I know about them, but I never had the beer, and it's like if you didn't go, I still wouldn't have known about it.
Okay.
So, but it's cool that a lot of breweries are like that with them. It seems like I learn about a lot of beer through them.
The Cloudwater stuff pops up on Instagram a lot. I don't know if that's because those are the pictures I end up liking, so the algorithm's like, here's more Cloudwater beer, but I see them a lot, and they are the haze kings of the London scene over there. It seems like they are juicy. This one feels very mango-y and thick. Their beers are thick.
Yeah, and this even looks like one of those Jumex Nectar boxes you see in the store, right? It looks like that. Yeah. Yeah,
their beer, Cloudwater beer, does not look like beer at all, and it's not even trying. And their haze stuff is often darker too. It's not like corridor stuff is very yellow, bright, inviting. Cloudwater stuff looks like it's dirty water.
That one. The dirtiest water I've had is that one we had from Solomon that one time, where we're kind of like, this is the dirtiest of the dirty water hazies.
Yeah, but it's tasty. I don't know. I think I'm good with one, maybe two. It's such a heavy
big
beer.
It dries up nice. It is a big, thick tropical haze play, but it's got some other hops in it that are just kind of mellowing everything out. There's no lingering juiciness in it.
Yeah, it's cool. But this is available at the tap room now, so who knows how long these last for over there.
These are cool, man. They're taking you on that on that ride, man, every week.
I know every week there's a new release, something there at Half Acre. Talked to Gabriel quite a bit at FoBAB. Asked him
Really?
about Far and Away. He said, they had a spot. They're ready to go.
Really?
I think.
So it's going to return.
No, they had a spot.
Oh, they had a spot for this past like September, October.
I think they had he said they either for that one or 2020. I think he just said it might have been the only one. They just have a lot of other things they're kind of focused on right now.
Yeah.
So,
If it was true, I mean, that was a magical day.
yeah.
Like yeah, I'm a big changing gears. I'm a big Sox fan, and Chance the Rapper threw that festival at Sox Park, and it was like such a perfect thing, magnificent, whatever it was called, all day long at Sox Park, biggest concert ever. And I'm like, man, this is so dope. You got to do it again.
Yeah.
But sometimes that is the thing, and then that's it. One and
Yeah,
done.
so maybe like Far and Away, it's just one of those things where, people that went to it are going to tell you how great it was, and then you're just going to have to believe them.
Yeah, that was a.
But yeah, they had that little booth, the little Revolution usually had the
Oh yeah, the Oasis or the Lounge, the non-barrel aged beers.
Half Acre was doing it this time, and so they were pouring micheladas and a couple other beers.
I
so-
had they had Burl, one of their most recent dippas from the store.
Yeah.
And then I had Sparkle Boy, which was
was a-
straight up. I want to say it was seltzer,
No.
or it was just fuzzy water.
It was a mixed culture seltzer.
Oh,
So it's not a hard it's different.
it's
They're
a mixed
not-
culture hard seltzer.
From what it sounded like from Gabriel, they are not going to get into this hard seltzer game. That's not their game to play. And if they're going to do it, they're going to do it their own way with like Sparkle Boy,
Right on.
like a mixed culture kind of take on it. So
Yeah, you were kind of excited to see it because there's water and then there's fuzzy water with flavor in it. Mm-hmm. Right, you can just go to the water tank, but it was nice. But what I liked is that they had the skull and the rainbow, which is like that original Reaper series
Right,
milk
yeah.
stouts. And it was like it was a chance to see a Half Acre logo come to life.
Yeah.
Which I liked, and a really cool Half Acre jockey box that had like some kind of moss or something all over it.
yeah, so that was a
man.
cool
Yeah.
little spot over there.
Shout out to Eric. He was over there pouring, making everybody happy. Mm-hmm. That was cool. That's a cool little spot. The Rev when Rev did it, they had the lounge chairs, which was nice.
Yeah.
Like big ball, like beach balls that you could sit on.
Right, but
and
they
like
had-
inflatable, chairs and stuff.
But Half Acre had the picnic tables going.
I must have missed that.
Like Christine Rose, she was sitting there eating some food at the picnic table.
And Austin, where'd you get food from? Probably upstairs.
Or something.
Maybe.
They had food
They did?
around. They have like the nacho, like the stuff you would get like at a stadium that you are like, I would never eat this unless I'm here kind of food.
Okay.
Like the Connie's pizza that's in the microwave kind of pizza.
I don't understand, because we talk about this all the time. It's like, if there's any party where you would have food, it would be this one. Mm-hmm. But then there seems to be little to no food for civilians or for GA.
Right.
There's little to no food options. And
Tamale guy could make a killing.
yeah,
He showed up.
yeah. But I guess, there's got to be a reason for it. I don't know what it is, but
Probably some weird permit rules.
real permit rule. And then you got to get people out of there.
Yeah. And you don't want to mess. You don't want like.
And then it's a volunteer event, so now you got to worry about cleaning up plates. There's probably more cleanup involved, really, right?
If there's food involved.
If
Yeah.
there's more food involved, there's more cleanup. So I'm
For
guessing
sure.
that's driving it.
Yeah, because drunk people are not clean people.
Dude. It's probably hard enough getting people out of there for 2 sessions on a Saturday with no food.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a tall order.
Yeah, getting bathrooms and coat checks and everything. Whew.
FoBAB, man. FoBAB 2019 is in the books, Brad.
Yeah.
Where
So
do we start, man? 600 volunteers. So
Okay.
cheers to them. And 100 judges. This is a big barrel-aged competition for beer.
when we start talking about judges, I talked to Steve Hamburg for a little bit.
My man, Stevie.
He had some things to say.
It's interesting. We should dive right into it, man.
So especially when we get to that no silver. So we'll get to that.
No, okay.
A little
Right.
tease. A little
Right.
tease. Stay tune in after this commercial break.
Yeah, man. FoBAB's a trip, man. It's 12 categories, right? What else? 412 beers.
Was it more than last year?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I got the book this year. I do not have last year's book. The number changes.
It felt like more.
Yeah, 229 breweries, they're saying. So
I feel like I barely scratched the surface. In past, I felt like I did a good job, like getting around and trying a lot. For some reason, this time, I was left like, I don't know. I kind of could keep going. I'm not really drunk. I don't know what I drank. Like I was just kind of like, I didn't feel like I had anything.
I have a list of 8 breweries that I've never heard of a day in my life that took medals Saturday.
Okay.
And I'm like, am I the only one? To your point, right? It challenges you. Like, is it me not keeping up with what's going on, or is just a ton of new stuff going on? It's just difficult.
But in years past, I've just randomly gone up to things and been like, well, let me try that. I didn't have time this time, or couldn't do that. I was just like, I don't know. I guess I gotta have all the stuff people like, and then do I make it to these other random ones? Well, I'm out of time.
Yeah.
So that was my trouble with FoBAB this time. And then I was like hanging out in the Goose area, chit chatting with people.
Always
for a
the
while.
largest draw. Well, because they have space for the longest line. If anyone else had it sits in the far corner, and then a line literally runs around probably half the building.
Well, yeah, like I was with Sergio, who's on the last episode of Beer Pass After Dark.
Beer Pass After Dark, Hill Farmstead, quite nice. Yeah. Cheers to Sergio.
So we would see these people.
What was he going to Canada or something, right? That's why he ended up in Vermont?
Yeah.
All right, right on. Sorry.
We'd see people in this Goose line because they were tapping something every hour, and we're like, I guess, let's see what it is. Like, why are all these fools lined up? There's like, 400 other beers around, and you're lined up for the 2 that Goose Island is tapping? You guys are fools.
People like lines.
But then we're like, well, let's see what it is.
So, well, speaking of,
and then like, there's
speaking of lines with fools, like, well, we just get into
there's
light.
the like VIP media friends area over there. Yeah. And we get there, like, what are you guys doing? They're like, I don't know. There's like, they don't even know.
It was rotating out. It rotated out for the time.
It was like 2014 vanilla up there.
They were acting bad, and usually they don't do that, like, to that extent. They don't go vault. They usually go, like...
That's because they have too much Bourbon County.
They got a ton of it, yeah.
They have so much.
I would have gotten in line for 2017 prop had I seen that. I went up there and got Moncherie.
Moncherie was good. I was happy with the sample I got of that. I never need to have that again.
Moncherie doesn't make me happy the way 2017 BCS, because it's the same brewer, Quinn.
Yeah.
Oh,
2-year reserve was good.
2-year reserve was good.
This year's prop is very good.
Yeah. All the classic adjuncts.
I didn't,
Reserve.
This was my first time having these because Nick went to the party.
I tell you.
And I didn't. I was with Josh Knoll and, couldn't go.
you were on your globetrotter. You were on one of your mini trips around the world. You were probably in Spain or something. What's funny? There's another crew that made a beer called Moncherie.
Really?
And I was asking the volunteer because she said Moncherie, and I'm like, Moncherie. Oh, because I'm waiting in line. I'm waiting in line for the phase 3 thing, and she's like, this Moncherie is not bad. And I'm looking up. I'm like, Moncherie, like. And she's like, there's another Moncherie? I'm like, yeah, the one that Goose makes. But she was talking about, I got all these fucking notes. I write these notes, and I look at this handwriting, and I'm like, who wrote this? Did I write this? Yeah.
So there's another Moncherie. So Goose.
Another.
AB will be suing someone else here soon enough.
There is another Moncherie, and it's a barrel-aged beer, and it was pouring at FoBAB. I got it right here. I'll pull it up.
Okay. But yeah, I think that same day they did an event at Bang Bang Pie Shop, which that beer tastes like cherry pie.
Side Lot Brewing in Wakanda.
Oh, Side Lot. Okay.
Wakanda forever, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Side Lot Brewing.
Okay.
Moncherie.
And so that beer tastes like, or the Goose version tastes like cherry pie. Even with pie, like, you can eat more pie if you want, but really you just kind of want like a bite or like a little piece usually. And that's what I felt like with that beer. I was like, this is cherry pie. I think I would rather have cherry pie.
Yeah.
Like I don't want my beer to taste like other food. Like I don't need a burger beer. I'll eat a burger. Like, I don't need a pie beer. I'll eat a pie.
Of the new adjunct beers in the Goose lineup, I will say that the one that made the most sense was the Cafe Diola, I think, because last year's orange was Midnight Orange, and it had a ton of orange and chocolate in it, and it's good if you like chocolate desserts, chocolate candies with oranges.
Yeah, I
orange
think
in it.
I had that when we were hanging out over there because they poured it, so it's like
That's an
okay.
improvement on the level of orange that was in this last one.
Yeah,
The last one had a ton of orange in it.
This was a better. The coffee kind of comes through a little more.
Coffee makes more sense. And then the coffee's taking this journey, which I really dig. Like coffee, most of the time, for the longest time, coffee was on its own in BCS, and that was your variant. And then coffee, barley wine, because I guess the flavors started becoming a little weird. Like people were like getting a lot of green pepper. So they're like, let's spin it. Coffee, barley wine, we'll come back to coffee stout some other time. And then they didn't come back. They went to this other thing where it's Cafe Diola, which is coffee and like 2 other ingredients, which I kind of like what coffee's doing. Coffee's taking on these other.
I feel like this is where I messed up because I didn't get to try the Goose beers previously, so I was like, oh, I got to try them while I'm here because I don't want to buy a bottle. So I was like,
you
oh,
cannot blame FoBAB for this.
I
But
can't
this,
blame-
but this is what happened.
that's what happened. So I ended up and I know some of the Goose people, and we know them.
Yeah.
And so I like talking to them. So I ended up spending probably more time there than I would have trying other beers. So that in hindsight, that's where I messed up.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Let's talk about if we're talking FoBAB, let's talk Best in Show.
All we're talking about.
All right. Best in Show. Let's get that out the way. For a second year in a row, Bottle Logic, Anaheim, California.
Nice.
Last year was a stout, vanilla stout. This year was a barley wine. Arcane Ritual.
That beer was good.
I enjoyed it.
It was good.
It was nice. It tasted like a delicious barley wine. It didn't taste like some other thing. Like, I like Strawberry Jacket from, which also won a medal in the fruit beer category.
Have you ever been to California? Have you gone to Bottle Logic at all?
I have not.
All right.
No.
It's a small little spot. I've gone twice now. Both times when I went to BlizzCon
What's BlizzCon?
for like World of Warcraft. So I went to the Bottle Logic isn't that far from the Anaheim Convention Center, so you can just like take a Uber. It's right down there. So, but it's like half acre what they are. Like not the Balmoral, just the other place. Like, it's
Lincoln,
not even that
like
big.
the original half acre.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah.
Maybe
They're making waves.
I haven't gone in 3 years, so maybe it's bigger now, but it's not that big.
They won fucking Best in Show 2 years in a row.
They make great beer, and they make good just IPAs. They make good pale ales. They just make good beer. Like
I want to know who else has won Best in Show while we're talking 2 years in a row. I'm just looking.
I would put, if you're talking like top breweries up there, like Half Acre is always one of my favorites, here in Chicago. But Bottle Logic is almost what Half Acre is for us to them. Like they're putting out releases all the time. They're doing collaborations with people. They're doing event beers for like BlizzCon and other things that happen at the Anaheim Convention Center. They just make great beer. When New Brew Thursday was around, they would go there all the time. And
Man, that's an oldie but goodie right there, New Brew Thursday.
But then they have John Holzer has the show For Brewers now, and so he's always at Bottle Logic. So I see him pop up on Twitter all the time. So
Ask him if he wants any of this barrel-aged vanilla stout from Hubbard's Cave. I got like 4 bottles of it.
Oh, you want to do a little trade?
Yeah.
A little Bottle Logic trade or something?
To see what's going on in these other regions, man.
All right, we can set this up.
Tell me if you know any of these other. Have you heard of any of these other breweries before today? These are 8 breweries that won medals at FoBAB. All right, here we go. Coppertail down in Tampa.
No, I know Cooper's Hawk.
I know Cooper's Hawk. Yeah, that's as close as we get. Branch and Bones, Artisan Ales, and Daytona Beach.
No.
Mad Tree Brewing.
That's a sort of maybe no.
They're in Cincy. Migraine Brewing in Joliet.
In Joliet?
Yeah.
Weren't you just over there and like not too long ago?
Yeah, I was down there and
You went to that
went to
the
that.
airplane one.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't there the
I was
airplane
down
themed
there.
one?
Yeah. What was I? I was down there at
Oh man,
Yeah.
look at this. But yeah, so they didn't pop up when you were there. Okay.
Oh,
Migraine,
my brain.
not right brain.
Not right brain. Migraine.
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 Oh, migraine.
Oh,
like
not migraine. Not migraine headache.
Oh.
Like my grain, the ingredient.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Because this is a audio show, and I'm like spelling. I'm reading it.
Yeah,
so.
I heard migraine and I thought right brain.
No.
I was like, oh, not the brain.
No, Taxman Brewing. That's in Bargersville, Indiana. Hello.
Yes,
You
I
have?
have
Okay.
heard of that for some reason. I don't know why.
What about Crow's Strain Brewing in La Vista, Nebraska?
No.
All right, I got two more. Hidden Springs. That's in Colorado.
Yeah.
And
Hidden Springs is the brewery?
Yes.
Oh.
Derive Brewing in Columbus.
No. Okay.
And Wolf Ridge Brewing, also in Columbus.
Wolf Ridge maybe, but it might have just been because at
Because
FoBAB.
the Wolf and then Ridge. right?
Yeah, but it might have just been because I've seen them at FoBAB.
Because so they all won. They all won breweries. They all won awards this year. And I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, I've never heard of these breweries. Upstream and Coppertail won. Coppertail actually won in 2017 as well.
Okay. So maybe that's why it's a little familiar.
Yeah. Upstream.
So run down.
Upstream's in Omaha.
Let's run down the awards from this year.
All right. So there's 12 categories.
Yep.
Yeah. We talked about Best in Show. That was a barley wine. And I think they said barley wine for the first time since like 2013.
Oh wow. Okay.
Was Best in Show. And then the runner-up was
The peach from Lost Abbey.
Peach Afternoon. Yeah.
That did you recommend that to or people were recommending this
Well, it was the
before?
longest line on Friday night in the sour
Okay.
room.
This was good. It tasted like peaches. It's not a best in show beer.
Runner-up.
Like it tastes like peach juice. Like cool. Nice job, Lost Abbey. You made a beer taste like something else.
It wasn't my jam. The one I really liked back there. The Peach Afternoon took gold. The Lost Abbey, this is their 16th all-time medal at FoBAB.
I honestly forget about Lost Abbey until FoBAB.
This is their
these
first
days.
win at FoBAB since like 2012, though, 2013.
Their bottles are usually expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive, hard to find. They do have the cork and cage, which I love. It's always nice to look
But
at.
now I don't drink anything but Chicago.
All right, so I don't know if people know the categories.
Okay.
All right, let's run off the categories. Cider, Perry Mead, that's one category. Wild beer, sour
No,
with
do you
fruit.
want to talk about who won each one or no?
Okay. Cider, Perry, Mead. All meaderies in this category for this year. I don't think that's ever happened. This category has only been around since 2013, though.
Okay.
So, and FoBAB's been around since, 2004. Misbehaving Meads took the gold. I always spell this wrong. This is Tampa Bay Brewery. Garagist
Okay.
Meadery. It's popular, too. I can't say that word for shit. Garagist. And Superstition Meadery.
Okay. And you
Josh picked him in his draft.
and then you went to Misbehaving Mead.
I have a Misbehaving Me sticker.
Oh, you didn't go.
Yeah, I got
thought
it from Bitter Hops because I had the with a baseball bat, which is their peanut butter and jelly mead, which is fucking out of
you-
bounds.
Which we had at Oak Park too.
Yes, that's where I got the sticker.
Oh, okay.
I
I
got-
saw the sticker and I was like, oh, Nick drove out to Misbehaving Meads. Damn.
I got that sticker from Oak Park.
Okay.
Same day as Far Far Away, Gone Away.
Gone.
No, the Big North.
Big no. We are a mess. Too many.
Wild beer, sour with fruit, acidic. This is where the Lost Abbey did their thing. Number 2 was Forager. That's in Minnesota. Number 3 was Coppertail in Tampa.
Forager, I didn't have this one from Forager. I had the Millers, and that was fantastic.
Yeah, I saw when on Friday there was a huge line for Millers. It was
And
one of the bigger lines.
And then we've seen him a few times past the hops.
Yeah, past the Hops Works
James.
there. Yeah, and then
Super nice guy, yeah.
Yeah, he is. And then they brought a couple. They brought a couple beers to what
Mars.
Yeah, to Mars. So I had a couple beer. I had a Saison and I had a Scotch ale from Forager, which I dug. And then he was pouring beer at the brewery in Geneva, Tom Corder's brewery.
Oh, Penrose.
He was pouring for a festival there.
Oh,
So
cool.
they're making some waves. They've done collabs with Microphone. They yeah.
Nah, they are on my list of next time I'm in Minnesota to go to.
I do like Minnesota breweries, so yeah, I'd love to. Not sure how far Rochester is from
From like the
the
Twin
Twin
Cities.
Cities, but it might be worth the excursion if you're up that way.
Yeah.
So then there's Wild Beer Sour. So there's Wild Beer Sour with fruit, and then there's Wild Beer Sour. So in Wild Beer Sour, it was Mobcraft, Off Color, and Upstream.
And that was the Procrats,
Yeah,
Right.
Procrastination took a silver.
which we did a video on the YouTube channel of. I don't know if it was.
That's the one with the cats.
Yeah, we did that.
Was that the fundraiser for the wildlife?
It
was a collab with
Might
the-
have been. I think I still have a bottle of it.
Yeah.
So, but that's last year's. I think this year's one.
He gets busy in this tournament. We talked about in the fantasy draft, he was the number 2 in the fantasy rankings. Since 2013, the only brewer that's got more medals in FoBAB competition than Off Color is Rev. So this is a pretty amazing 7-year run he's on.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so that's cool. Wild Beer Brett. This is Afterthought, Hacienda, and Branch and Bone Artisan Ales.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Hacienda because they're in Milwaukee now. Yeah. Oh, but then that's another brewery I discovered at fucking through Half Acre at Far and Away. Yeah. There's a specialty experimental category.
Yeah.
So that's Five Rabbit, Mad Tree, and Monday Night Brewing. If I got this right, Monday Night Brewing is the Stone Brewmaster that left to go do his thing in Atlanta.
Yeah. So I remember following these guys when I was doing the Hopcast with Ken Huntemeter and Monday night,
Okay.
and they were just getting started, and they were it almost seemed like a homebrew club. Like it's Monday night, so it felt like guys brewing Monday night.
Yeah.
And so I have been following them, and I've known about them
Make sure
since
I got this right while you're talking.
since they began. So it's really cool to see them now penetrate that cultural consciousness, because I'm I've heard of these guys for a long time, and it's really cool, and they just seem like people I knew on Twitter that were making beer. So I was like, all right, nice.
I mean, Atlanta's slowly becoming one of those towns where, I kind of want to go and explore it as a beer town. Atlanta, St. Louis.
I don't know, everyone's leaving Atlanta now.
Really?
Everyone's they had some weird political things happen there.
Really?
So people are bouncing. I think anti-gay stuff, but
No, that's not cool.
but this is a beer show.
Yeah,
So
Miss Steele is a guy. He was at New Realm Brewing, so I got that wrong. Monday Night Brewing's been around since 2006. Yeah, so
they were just kind of popping up when Ken and I did a road trip. We went out to the Sexual Chocolate release at Foothills,
that's like in North Carolina.
and we stopped at Sweetwater, and so they were just kind of around, and so it was cool.
Sweetwater. Fruit beer. Workforce, Revolution, and Migraine Brewing from Joliet, Illinois.
Nice.
Yeah, Workforce is putting in that work. They
Putting in the work.
kind of own this category.
Yeah.
For the last 5 or so years. Yeah,
We should get
very consistent crew.
He was at FoBAB. Talked to him last year at FoBAB.
Oh, there's the husband-wife duo over at Workforce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his?
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I can picture. I can see his face too. He's got the shades. He's got the glasses. They just had the baby.
Friends with him on Facebook too.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm just not very good with names.
We should get him. We should go out there.
Yeah, because all they do is make good beer. And Steve Wardendike, who used to be at Two Brothers, he's out there too. Yeah, Steve's the reason I know about the the Midwest Brewers Fest, because I ran into him in the most random place, and I was singing a John Denver song, and he called me out on it.
Oh,
And
funny.
he's like, "Hey, you need to come to this party in fucking Plainfield." I'm like, "There's no way," and I end up going. Yeah. And it changed how I view traveling for a beer.
Okay.
That party. Yeah. All right. So that was fruit beer. Other strong dark beer. This is Revolution again, Pollyanna, and Taxman.
Cool.
Yeah. Rev's party this weekend will be the VSOR, which took the gold.
And Strawberry Jacket too, which
Yeah.
took
Oh,
another.
Yeah. So Strawberry Jacket took a silver in the fruit. VSOR took a gold in the Other Strong Dark. Other Strong Dark.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. And this is the other pale category where there were only 2 winners, like Brad mentioned earlier. Pollyanna with an apple brandy barrel aged volume 3 of Orenda, and a bronze for Great Lakes Brewing, the Great Lakes Triple Dog Dare.
All right. So, story time. We run into Steve Hamburg kind of on our way out. He's a judge.
Yes.
He did not judge this category. So just like he didn't tell us what he judged, but he did not judge this one.
I'm going to look up the other beers in this category too while we're talking.
So he said he's been judging beer and been in the beer scene forever.
Steve's the best. He is one of the best guys in beer.
So he said this happens often, right? There is a brewery or there is a category where the judges feel like there isn't a winner in gold or silver or bronze.
Yeah. 16 beers in the other pale beer category.
Not that many, right? Yeah. His kind of stance on it is they've made the medals, right? They're all made. Just give someone the medal. Like, come on. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, all the beer at FoBAB is pretty damn good. Like, no one's like just shitting in a barrel and sending it to FoBAB.
Except for Four Hands. Four Hands sat next to French Vanilla Militia, and they had a Four Hands is the first beer to kick every time at Chris Jacobson's party.
Yeah.
Dark Side at Wicker Park and Emporium. Oh, so I'm like, give me the Four Hands because I'm right next to Floyd's. Bring it on. And I was like, yo,
It wasn't good.
like I'm out. But that's the only one. To your point,
Okay.
that was the only time.
They are typically always good. So his view is just give the medals. Like, it doesn't matter, really. But someone in this judging category felt like they wanted to make a stand. And whoever it was someone with, like, some clout that whoever else was judging this didn't want to stand up to. They wanted to make the stand of, like, no, there's just not good enough beer here to give everyone a medal, right? So someone is taking a stand, and his view was that person, dude, like, no one gives a shit that you took a stand. What, you're going to tell your kids? I took a stand at the 17th annual FoBAB and said nobody deserves a silver medal.
The other pale category rolled around, and let me tell you what I did.
Right. So there's that. And then to the other degree, the bronze medal is the, like, pity award. And no one likes winning the bronze medal because it's like your beer was just a little better than everyone else's, right? So to tell
Brad.
to tell that
Coming in spicy.
who took the bronze medal in
Great Lakes.
Great Lakes.
Great Lakes with what did Great Lakes have? Oh, Barrel Aged Rack House.
So to say to Great Lakes, your beer isn't even good enough for silver. Like, what? Between gold and silver, like, there's no way that's that big of a difference. And you're going to tell me that you couldn't, like, I could see not giving someone a gold and being like, okay, none of these were, like, really good. But to take out silver, that makes Great Lakes look like they're basically shit. Like, why give them the award at all?
Brad, if they don't like it, they don't like it. I mean, who are we to say? You know, who are we to say that they should not like it? You know, if they don't like it, they don't like it.
But just give the medals. These medals don't sell beer. They make the people feel good. So just give them the medals. Like, not that it's a participation trophy, but it's
Because
like
there is a 16, like this next category has 16 in it too. So
Yeah.
16 to 20 beers per category.
But like,
yeah, so you're the best 3 out of the 16. That's pretty good.
Empirical won a medal last year for their beer. Did it help them sell more beer? Probably not. Like, do you remember who, like, you know, because you did this draft, I couldn't tell you who took gold in pale ale last year. It doesn't matter. Just give out the medals. Like, that's kind of Steve Hamburg's kind of take on it. Like, they entered this. We made the medals. Just what? Now that medal goes in the garbage, so that's kind of bullshit.
This
too.
happened at JBF this year, where there were like one, maybe even two categories where whatever category it was, all three medals in the category weren't awarded. Yeah. So somebody made a statement, right?
Someone made a statement. GABF, those maybe sell beer.
There's a lot more categories too. There's like 100 plus categories. Yeah.
Yeah, like FoBAB, it doesn't sell more beer for the brewery. A homebrew competition doesn't mean that homebrewer is gonna like become a brewer. Just give the medals. The market will decide if the beer is good or not. If they want a medal and the market's still like that beer's garbage, not gonna sell more beer. That was our conversation with Steve Hammer, which was a good.
That's interesting.
Like,
that is very.
Give out the medals. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah. It makes it weird. It makes it weird for everybody else in that category.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. Like this is the kind of stuff that like the guys judging, people who go to these parties all the time, that the judges know. These are the conversations they're having, and it creates a weird tension.
But yeah, whoever was in that category, somebody had.
Who's in this category? Rogue,
No,
Ales.
but
We're looking at you.
whoever was judging it, someone had more pull than whoever else was judging to basically kind of be like, not doing it. And
I don't know, man. There's something to be said for that, and maybe it could point back to, there was a medal era back in like 2014. Right, where there's a crew, Trinity Brewing in Colorado Springs. They won a medal for like I don't know. They won a medal in the Brett category, wild Brett beer. And then the guy said, "Hey, we accidentally sent the wrong keg. We're gonna send this beer back. We're gonna send this medal back.
Okay.
Because we said we were sending something, but we sent something else. So they sent it back. Now, granted, that was like in 2014, but
I forget the story. That's a weird hearing it like that because the beer won.
The beer won. And then,
but it wasn't the appropriate beer for that category.
Exactly.
So yeah, okay.
So it was a wild Brett beer, and then the beer they said it was a wild Brett beer, but then the beer they sent wasn't Brett. It was actually Lactobacillus and Saccharomyces.
Okay.
Which are like other strains of wild yeast, right? So they didn't send the destrainer yeast that they said they sent.
Okay.
And then they said, hey man, this is fucking with our conscience. We'll send it back.
I kind of remember that, but again,
maybe this has something to do with that, where they're just kind of taking a look. And because that was another theme around the awards when we were all hanging out talking. It's like, hey, there was a focus on like we're not gonna award overly pastry stouts, right? We're not gonna or just beers. Period. We're not gonna award overly pastry beers. Like I think there had to be a consensus around these kind of things, like that they weren't gonna do.
What, the judges? There's no way the judges are thinking of that. That just might have been like, yeah, I'm just not digging these this year. Like, don't count the judge. What the judges feel like they're drinking.
That's how
this
it was.
Year.
Yeah.
It's not that there's like, we're not gonna support this kind of mantra happening. It's just like, we got burnt out on these, and I'm not digging them right now. I'm the judge of the other dark, strong beers, so I don't feel these right now. I'm feeling the whiskey flavor in them.
That's where I was with the Phase 3 curvature. I was like, I'm not as excited about this as I want, in part because it was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think that's how I felt about the Maplewood.
The cuppa.
Barrel aged cuppa. It was very heavy vanilla.
Yeah.
This coconut, and I was like, I just don't dig on this right now. It's not what I want.
It's a big sweet beer. Yeah.
Me last year might have been like, this is amazing, and someone in my shoes there might have been like, this is amazing. So. It's a very subjective thing, so the judge is not awarding these pastry stouts. That's just what they're feeling. I don't think there's a cry to not support this. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, that was the strong pale category.
Yeah. I was like, speaking of beers that I thought were good that didn't win anything, I'm trying to find it. There was a crew from San Diego, and they were called Pure. Oh, the Pure Project. They had a beer called the Corliss with vanilla. It was almost 17%. They put it in Breckenridge barrels. Coffee, cacao, vanilla, hazelnut, all organic, whatever that means.
Okay.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Actually, it was another brewer that told me to go get that. And that's what I noticed, like brewers, And I think the more I think about it, like as soon as you walk in, you see somebody you know, and the first thing they say is, "Go get this." And I think it's kind of in relation to, sometimes it's in relation to A, what one, but then B, what everybody else is really digging.
Sure. Yeah.
You know? So I really dug that beer. Oh, but yeah, let's get back to these other categories. Yeah. Right on. Classic styles. So Kroos Strain Brewing, Derive Brewing, and Church Street. Holy moly is the name of the beer that took a bronze.
Our boy Chet Brett is no
Brett,
longer
who-
with them.
Yeah. Apparently
Hailstorm.
Chet said Hailstorm. And like I don't know much about the Hailstorm crew. So that would be a fun trip.
I've never been. Do they have tacos?
They probably have food trucks. But you know they double down on their space, so they might have a kitchen.
All right. I'll just get tacos first at Sound Growler. Then head on over.
Crow Strain Brewing in La Vista, Nebraska. Your Thrill List 2018 New Brewery of the Year. So this is literally a brand new brewery. And they have a gold medal in classic style, so good for them.
Cool.
Yeah. Barley wine, wheat wine. This is Best in Show, Bottle Logic, Haymarket, Barrel Aged Bollocks, and Cross Strain Brewing again with their barrel aged barley wine.
Nice.
Yeah. Specialty Strong, that was Cerebral, Hidden Springs, and Half Acres Benthic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed. Yeah, Benthic I missed. It ran out too.
Yeah. And then finally is a strong porter category. So that's Wolf's Ridge, Crystal Lake, which we might be going to soon.
Yeah.
And more for a second year in a row with Mendy. Yeah.
Okay.
So with so we talked about it. Sean the Brewer, who left and started Phase 3, has 75 barrels at Moore, and it sounds like this would have been that beer that he made that got put into this, based on what that one pot said. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So
I don't know. Some surprises, some not surprises. I don't know. It was a interesting award and interesting day at FoBAB too.
yeah, I love that party, man. You know, talking to people that are working it and because you know, you work the way the volunteers work. 600 volunteers. You work a session and then you get access to another session.
Yeah.
So the whole time you're setting up for your row, you sampled all these beers, right? Because on Saturday you've been there 2 sessions.
Oh, so you had the ones.
You had them all. So you roll up on them and say, hey, what do you like? It's like, oh, I don't know about that one beer I like is gone, but then go to this row and try this other thing. I think that's how I landed on like a cognac barrel aged mead because Phase 3 was gone, right? Like that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, you know, chatting up these volunteers was a lot of fun. And then any brewer you see in attendance that's just a civilian hanging out having a beer, what are they drinking? Because A, they might have been a judge and just in keeping it low. Then B, you know, these brewers all know each other. They talk to each other, and they all share what they are vibing on. So those were 2 cool things that I have probably noticed before, but then noticed them right away at this FoBAB because I didn't really know a lot of folks there, you know, and I didn't know a lot of breweries there.
Oh damn.
So-
Nick's out of touch.
Dude, 2019 FoBAB, the year I realized I was out of touch. The first thing
Too old for this shit.
The first thing in my notes is, man, I don't know 8 of these. Not only do I not know them, I've never heard of 8 of these breweries. And I look back and like a couple of them have won before, and I still don't fucking know.
Like, you know, we're drinking Half Acre beer here, and it's great, but then you almost have to make an effort to not drink the brewery you love to go drink these other breweries.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've had a buddy who, ever since it was in the West Loop at the Plumbers Union Hall FoBAB, he's like, what are you drinking? I'm like, oh, I'm drinking Peace. He's like, God damn it, Nick, you got to not drink local all the time. You know, and that's so true, you know. But that's the same trap I fell into at Great Taste, where it's like, yeah, but they got this thing that they don't have usually. You make an excuse. You bargain with
at
yourself.
some of those fests,
Yeah.
drinking in the city, like everyday drinking, I stick to local because, one, I want to support the breweries here. I want to make sure that grows. And it's way better, like, just on an environmental stance to drink the beer that's made here. Like, why wouldn't I support this beer?
This is during the week.
During the week.
In life.
Yeah,
regular
in life. I love having some of these other breweries, especially when I travel or just when people share them. But on an everyday thing, I'm going to drink Chicago beer because it is not just often better beer, but it's better like across the board for like your price point, environment, what you're getting, the people you're supporting, where the money's going. So that's why I don't know a lot of these breweries, especially in like Indiana or Ohio. It's like it's right there. I just don't go and get it.
It's so yeah, it's an opportunity, more than ever with 7,000 breweries, the most breweries in recent history, to go out of your way to make it a point to try some new stuff, and that's not an easy thing to do. Yeah, right. I know. I sure as fuck, like, I was looking at all the things I tried that I liked, and I'm like, Sketchbook's still on there, FoBAB still on there. They're still local, even though I'd learned about some new stuff.
Yeah.
Not going local because they got some cool shit is difficult to do.
Well, and you run into those people, and you're like, well, I want to make sure I told them I had their beer and what I thought about it, because it's a good like conversation starter too. Be like, oh, I had this sour blah 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 you're doing, and you kick off this conversation. So that's the other reason. It's like I don't want to tell these people I didn't drink their beer. So
speaking of sour blah blah blahs, that's always been one of my favorite little excursions, is going in that room and getting into the wild sour beers.
I didn't have any only child beers.
Only child didn't make the trip.
Oh, they didn't even come.
They
Okay,
didn't
I
come.
was like,
There were 3 breweries that didn't make the trip.
Was Hubbard's Cave there?
I think Hubbard's Cave was there. Yeah.
I didn't.
Peach Afternoon was the longest line. The Rare Barrel was back there. I really liked the 5 Rabbit offering. There was one I thought it was really cool. It was the off-color one. It was like a gin. It was a gin barrel aged beer.
Oh, okay.
That I really dug. But yeah, that whole idea of taking those beers and taking them, there were so many of them that they had the room, but then also the very first row when you walk into the main floor was also wild beers too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wild beer acidic and off into another room, wild beer no acid in another room.
Yeah.
And that was a knock on that award. Like, apparently if you take Brett and lactobacillus, like, Brett is almost always funky mostly, and then like lacto is always acidic. So their argument was, listen, like, this is a completely different thing than
flavor.
the
Yeah.
So we gotta get this award back.
Whew.
Goddamn, Brad.
I didn't change the time, so I don't know where we're at. But any other thoughts on FoBAB?
It's one of my favorite parties. Same old place, and you get to see everyone that you know, which I really dug. Oh, this year, there's always volunteers pouring, but this year, the WellWorks founder, he was pouring his own beer. He had 2 beers. One was Medianoche, and the other one was a Medianoche peanut butter. He was pouring Medianoche peanut butter all weekend. So my understanding is they told him, hey, if you're gonna volunteer, you gotta volunteer, like, the whole time. So I saw him Friday, and then I saw him again Saturday.
Damn. Okay.
So he was serious about volunteering.
That's cool.
So that was cool.
I did hear talk about FoBAB needs to do something else. Like it's a great event. It's now been at the UIC Forum for 4 years. It didn't sell out this year. What it needs to do something else. One, it should have a People's Choice Award for that session, for the day. You get to log in.
That's a good idea.
Or something like. Have a People's Choice.
This year, that Pure Brewing from San Diego, and then last year there was a crew called Horace Artisan Ales.
Yeah.
And these were like, then Horace won for something else, but the beer that people would not stop talking about, was that beer was different from the one they won with.
Yeah, make the people that are at the event feel a little more important than, it's $85 to go. They have no say in what gets won. Just add that to it. I think that would be a nice little touch, even if some sort of voting mechanism.
That's true. Because even when you write for a magazine, right, there's usually like a reader's poll, and then there's like with the people the editors.
Yeah.
Yeah, staff choice, and popular vote.
So there should be something else.
Yeah, that's how it is at They should take a page from the Chicago Beer Society, where Steve Hamburg's a member.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys over there, right? Where they have hey, this was the popular vote, this was the judges' vote, the coaches poll, the writers poll, Yeah. Oh, I did want to talk about Well, in that ABV Chicago Fantasy thing, you know, they sent out a really nice list that Steve helped put together. All the wins ever in FoBAB. So, you know, I'm like, well, who's the all-time leading medal winner?
Yeah.
Medal winning crew. And my assumption is that it was Goose Island. And it's close. Goose Island is second. So I'll run down the top 4. The reason I'm bringing this up is because Lost Abbey run runner-up this year.
Okay.
That puts them at 16 medals, right?
Yeah.
That puts them behind Flossmoor Station's 20.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was Flossmoor Station there?
Maybe. Are they still doing?
They're still around,
I
right?
don't know. The ice cream caboose was closed this summer. But,
Okay.
you know.
There's that other brewery in Flossmoor, right?
It was Vice District.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Homewood.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Lost Abbey, number 4, was 16. Flossmoor Station, number 3 with 20. That's still unreal to me. Number 2 is Goose Island with 35 career medals. Number 4, this really shouldn't be a surprise because they got 7 locations that often come to this thing, is Rock Bottom
Yeah, okay.
with 44 career medals.
Did they break that out at all? At like which rock bottom won?
This is an excellent little. They're both teachers, these ABV guys. So there's like it's an Excel sheet. It's sorted by year and brewery and style. It's actually pretty neat. Yeah. So when you and then like you're reminded of an era that I didn't attend. You know, 04 to 09 or whatever.
When it was just rock bottom.
And some crew named Glacier Icehouse was killing it, right? Like it was so fun. That part was so fun. So
It was like
cheers
rock
to
bottom,
those guys, man.
Lamont, Warrenville, Chicago.
Fucking Joliet.
Yeah.
There's some out of towners at like Pittsburgh and some other
Yeah.
shit. And I'm just like, because whoever.
At Flossmoor Station. Well, that time was was his name Matt, right? No. That's the broom. Is he there now? He came back
I couldn't tell you what's
to
going
try
on
to
at
bring it
Flossmoor.
back, but
All I know about Flossmoor is that they do the around the world. You ask for a sampler, they don't have a sampler of like 4 or 5. They give you every single beer on draft. I've only been to 2 places in my life like that. One was Russian River.
oh yeah,
They give you
that
every
thing
single
is
fucking beer they have.
ridiculous.
And then you go to Flossmoor Station to do the same thing. But the Rock Bottom list was cool because it's like Claire's Thirsty Ale, 2008 gold medal, right? Right, like because you know Rock Bottom used to be at FoBAB was ground zero at Rock Bottom.
Right,
The
that's
very
where it
first
started.
one. That's where
Yeah.
it started. And then even whoever the brewmaster is at Eris, she started at Rock Bottom.
Okay, yeah.
People get their start at Rock Bottom and then go do their own thing. And you kind
Rock
of
bottom or goose. That's where you start.
yeah. So that was cool.
Nice.
Oh, that's it. That's my FoBAB thing.
Whew.
Goddamn, Brad.
You good?
I'm good, man.
All right. Any other stops then besides FoBAB? You did make it out and about.
Yeah. I don't really remember what I did, man. It was all kind of a blur, man.
I popped into Old Irving.
Right on.
Well, I went and picked up this lens from Half Acre, and I was like, I do love a good burrito, or AKA wrap at.
This lens is a reason why we're like, yeah, let me tell you about third place.
I was like,
Like,
I'm
Brad,
go-
there's 16 breweries.
I'm
Third
going.
place is
I'm
good.
going to
That's still good.
Old Irving. So went up there. I had a little taste of the Beezer as I was like looking over the rest. They had a Centennial IPA on. IPA, just with Centennial hops. I was like, what is this? This is what I remember. Like, this is crazy. What's this color going on here? It's like rich, like a cedar brown color. I don't know. It was like
Both Two Hearted, heavy on the Centennial, and Founder Centennial.
yeah,
Ale
so
in the
Centennial machine, and that was tasty.
beginning. Yeah.
So that was good.
Classic Sea Hop.
Yeah,
Right on.
that was I feel like that was my only stop. I think I probably posted a picture somewhere else, but I'm blanking on where
Yeah, I
else.
remember it was FoBAB week, and I think
After Beer Pass After Dark, it got a little hazy.
Yeah, that's right. I remember. I remember not much. Yeah, I remember not much, man. I just remember it being FoBAB. So
Nice. Yeah, let me see. Let me double check our IG, which everyone should be following here. So then, coming up this week, Nick, What do we got happening?
Man, we'll start Thursday. There's a hyper local barrel aged stout release at Fishman's.
Hyper local.
Hyper local. So it's a coffee barrel aged stout from Lake Effect.
Okay.
It's got some coffee, Sumatra coffee from a crew called Percolator.
Do the percolator.
It's time for the
It's time. Every like 450.
It's aged in CH Distillery barrels, and it's from the good folks at Lake Effect at Fishman's. That's Thursday, the 14th.
All right.
That's a 4 p.m. start.
Friday is Rev round 2.
Oh man, the Deep Wood series, man. So this is the barley. This is the wines.
Right.
This is VSOR.
Strawberry Jacket.
Strawberry Jacket. Another batch of Strawberry Jacket.
And what's the third? Was there a third one?
Straight Jacket. Straight Jacket.
Okay.
BIL, man.
And
That fucking Straight Jacket is so good.
and then of course there'll be a killer tap list.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, man. They run this. Dare I say, they might run this town on barley wines,
Whoa.
right?
Moose Knuckle too? Yeah.
Oh, barrel aged moose knuckle. I had barrel aged moose knuckle, and no, just OG moose knuckle and OG behemoth head to head at Peace, and the OG behemoth was like super hoppy compared to the
It's a three floors.
compared to the moose
I
knuckle.
feel like it's hoppy and kind of a sweet hoppy.
Yeah, that moose knuckle though is where I wanted to be in life. Yeah, so I'm just excited that these crews are excited about barley wine. Yeah, you're right. And then there's like there's a tap list of all bunch of cool variants. That's Friday.
That's Friday.
That's Friday. You know, it's also Friday. Barrel aged pajamas.
Whew.
Yeah, man.
All the variants too?
And all the variants. So no less
no.
than 10 variants of barrel aged pajamas.
I
Brad.
don't got time for this.
It's just like Brad lives this life where he blames FoBAB for the 4 hours he spent around barrel aged beer, but he's hanging out with the folks he knows. He's blaming Beguile on all 10 variants and noon start. And there's
You know who'll be there? What's his name from Porch Drinking? As it's
Zoller. No,
that's-
Spirits. He's cool as fuck too. He's
not Steve.
he's craft beer and spirits on
Yeah.
fucking Twitter.
For some reason, I want to say Steve.
We
but
partied
that's
with
not
him.
his name.
We partied with him at the Rev Jameson thing.
Yeah, he will be there at noon.
He's a swell guy. Sports Chips and Dip
yeah.
on
Does
that's
it
a
have
funny name.
Does it
Sports
have
Chips
his
and
real
Dip.
name on there?
Oh.
James?
I'm
No,
looking
not
at him. He looks
James.
like this.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Dude, I suck with names.
Dale? He looks like a Dale.
Oh man. You know, the brewmaster I fucking
Like,
work for.
So blanking on his name.
He's cool as fuck.
yeah.
Yeah, he'll
But
be there.
he'll be there.
He'll be there.
At noon,
He'll be there.
and also the hop review guys will be there at noon too.
That noon shit. You can pick up some Saint Laurent there because they brew there.
Do they? I have not seen any of that beer there in a long time.
And they got the little buddy cans.
Yeah, I was drinking Little Buddy at FoBAB.
Ah, Little Buddy was the beer of choice for the awards. I had two little. All right, so I come down. I find myself a nice, comfy spot for the awards. I see Deb Turner, so I'm like, "What's
Yeah.
up? You're blonde now." She's like, "Yeah, you know, I haven't been going to many beer events." And I got two little buddies for the awards.
Nice.
I love Little Buddy. Hey,
3 little buddies with Deb.
19 pajamas. Barrel aged pajamas, oatmeal stout, barrel aged to gold at JBF. It's aged in 5, 9, and 13-year-old Heaven Hill barrels.
Oh, I want to go to this, but I just don't think I should. That just ends. That night, in years past, has ended. I think it ended at ordering pizza and drinking a Dovetail. That's how that ends.
It's not a bad night. There'll be 2 food trucks and no less than 10 variants of pajamas that day. That's Friday, 11:15. That's from noon to 10 in
So
Walt
what?
Row.
You go to noon, go to this, and then you go over to Rev. Is that the plan for Friday?
That'd be the route. That would be the route.
If you're porch drinking, you do that.
Also, let's go back to Thursday. Thursday at Clark Street Ale House, old school Clark Street Ale House near Chicago Ave in Clark, right? So that's like River
They
North-ish.
changed the name, no?
No, it's Clark Street Ale House. I was there for
Different crew.
I got a
runs
pint.
it.
It's definitely a different crew. I got a pint. That's where I saw the off-color mural. There's an off-color mural that runs the whole length of the bar.
Oh, okay.
And I got some Oktoberfest there.
Nice.
Oh, but they're doing BCS vintages on Thursday. Like it's a pre-prop day party. So they have vintages going back to 2011.
Damn.
Yeah. That's a 4 p.m. start, so they're going to be partying there. That's a sneaky good spot. They got a beer garden, but, it's fucking 9 degrees out. But they still got a nice beer garden.
Yeah.
And they open till 4 a.m.
Shit. Okay.
So if you want to get it cracking, if you
Clark
want
Street Ale House.
to start your bender on Friday,
Clark Street Ale House was a good place before anyone had good beer. And it's
Yeah.
still a good place.
it's still a solid place. Yeah. So that is Friday. What's going on Saturday?
I think there's the Pollyanna release, the fun sizes.
Fun sizes are going
Is
on?
that Friday or Saturday? You can probably get them both days, all locations, fun size variants.
Fun size, yeah. And they were saying, Pollyanna, one of the few crews. I love to see a list of these crews who clean up at FoBAB and at JBF in the same year.
Yeah.
Because they are definitely one of those crews. Cheers to Girl in Her Beer, Stephanie Bice. She took Pollyanna in her draft, and she tied for first. She lost a tiebreaker, so.
Damn.
But she picked Pollyanna and Fire Rabbit. Pollyanna struck twice at FoBAB.
Cool.
So that's Saturday. And then we slide right into Sunday, Brad. It's prop day. Now this event was a lottery event. So, but things change. Each person had a chance to buy 2 tickets. So there, if you whistle to your friends, you might get a prop day ticket.
But we're not invited.
No invite for you or me. Prop this year is toasted pecan, coconut, cocoa, and vanilla.
It's good. It's good.
It's noon to 4. They do a mystery prop vintage wall.
Mm-hmm.
Where
We could probably just roll up and be like, where's such and such? We know them.
this is true. You get 7 pours. You have the chance to buy 2 props or 2 Cafe Diolas.
I don't even want to buy it. I just like to hang out.
I just want to hang out and then drink them all. Yeah. But if I got a chance to buy 2 props, I'm gonna drink one now and put one on ice. I'm gonna wake up and drink one Saturday
next
morning. No.
That'll be one on ice.
No, one on ice might last till Valentine's Day or something.
Okay.
A more interesting event than prop day, because prop day is outside
Whoa.
and the weather might suck. Is the prop Constellation Vertical at Clybourne.
Okay.
Prop day is at Fulton. The Constellation Vertical same day at 6 p.m.
Okay.
So prop was 2013 to 2018 are the previous props. So they're going to pour them all in a vertical for you. And they're going to have a raffle where someone will get to win a Black Friday tasting of the entire BCS lineup, which I believe is 8 beers. So that's interesting because that's got a stiff price tag this year. It's like $150 or some shit. So there's that. And, it's an excuse to go to Clybourne because, if you're listening to this or if you're us, when the last time you've been to Clybourne?
That's true. Yeah, it's been a little bit. I drive by it all the time. Just don't go in.
Yeah, they it's a weird thing because like at when we tasted all the BCS, the old Clybourne bar is at the Barrel Warehouse in a marketing space, but the new Clybourne bar, which is like 2-3 years old now, it has a very different feel than that old man kind of library your grandfather's bar place had. It's a completely different vibe. And we don't know if it's better. Right? It's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different. So, yeah. So those are your events, man.
Cool. All right.
Does this pen have an eraser?
I get
That's dumb.
Oh, it has an eraser? It's probably meant for the phone, right? You could turn it off.
It's a stylus.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Right, you are right.
Cool. So those are events happening, but then Moody Tongue opens this weekend?
Yeah, man, in the old Beta Brow space. So, dude, this is they got two formats. They have the chef Jared Wentworth, who was a chef at Dusix.
Okay, not Jared, the brewer.
Not Jared Rubin, who's the founder of Moody Tongue. There's a lot of Jareds over there.
Can't hire other.
Jared,
That's like
too many Jareds over there. They're doing.
discrimination. If you're not Jared, you can't get hired there. Like, I don't know.
It was like when Burn City, when Alex Levengood was at Burn City, he was there for just a quick second, then he went to Brickstone. But yeah, like
Redhead.
three of the
beard.
4 brewers had red beards.
Yeah, this is just not fair to none of those people.
Moody Tongue is open for business this week. They have a dinner option that's $155. It includes 12 beers and 12. It's fine dining. 12 course, 12 beer option.
Next to the expressway.
Yeah, right there. So there's a fine dining room, and there's only like 4 of these a day that they're offering.
Do they?
And then they have an actual like bar area.
I don't know. I have. It might. I don't know. It'd be cool if
12,
they.
the 12-layer cake's gonna be there.
What?
That 12-layer chocolate cake.
Oh, yeah,
that's
good.
gonna be there.
That's good. Yeah.
That's
Is
good.
it? It's not worth. I don't know. It's not worth the money. Like,
there's
I
two-
don't know. I'm interested to see how the space works out.
I'm
for them.
curious. So photos look good, but then there's 2 concepts. Like when this was Beta Brow's old space at 25th and Wabash. That's Bronzeville. That's not South Loop because South Loop stops at 23rd.
Yeah.
The expressway is 24th. 25th is Bronzeville. So that's Bronzeville. Like there's 2 concepts. One's Beta Brow had a like a private dining area, like a VIP area, like
For like events.
For events. So that's going to be the dining space, the fine dining space. That's just one section. And then this other section on the other side of the stairs is like a proper tap room, right? Big, gigantic fucking bar in the middle with a bunch of taps and then seats all around it,
Right.
like your traditional brewery would.
I hope it works out for them. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna work there, right? I'm not someone that I went to Beta Brow twice. I don't know what's bringing me over there, right? Unless I'm in the emergency room at the hospital.
There's a hospital.
Like,
Mercy Hospital is a couple blocks over.
Why? What's making me choose that over
Right.
something else? So I think that will be their what they have to convince people on. Like, come here for this.
It's interesting. It's near McCormick Place, which is something Beta Brow could never figure out. Like you're by this thing this thing that is literally the biggest draw over 12 months in the entire city.
Yeah.
Is this thing.
So can
And
they?
you know, there's Michelin star restaurants in South Loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're rolling with the "if you build it, they will come" thing. They're right off the expressway. They're not far from Soldier Field. They're kind of saying, "Hey, we're gonna build it, and this is who we are, and you're gonna come." Now, if there's parking, then it's possible.
They gotta have a VIP, right? I'm not. Who is coming for a $155 dinner?
A beer dinner.
But you better have VIP. You better have valet parking for this.
We're gonna need some valet action.
Like, you don't have a Michelin star restaurant in the middle of nowhere and not have someone else park my car for me. I'm not like, what? I'm gonna try to find a spot and then I'm gonna go pay $150 for dinner.
This is middle of nowhere ish. Yeah, you're not wrong. Because it's off the expressway, and that was a problem. What Beta Brown didn't figure out was that block was marked for residential parking.
Yeah.
That block.
Maybe they got it changed.
Yeah. We'll see. I got a lot of question marks. We were by there like maybe 3 weeks ago, and the Beta Brown mural that took up the whole building was still there.
The pictures look nice. It looks
Pictures look
nice.
really great. I'm curious. I like Jared Rubin. One of my favorite FoBABs was at Bridgeport, and I got there, half hour early. Jared Rubin's walking me through every beer he brought there. He walked on the stage a couple times that year. He makes good beer. He's
Yeah.
a fun guy. So I root for him, and I'm very curious to see what they did with the space. Yeah, because it was a modern German beer hall last time I was there, and you could you go into the brewery, you can go into the bar area, and then you can kind of overlook this gigantic 30,000 square foot
Right.
space. And apparently he blocked those windows out, so now it's
Oh,
all
okay,
just
look in.
yeah. He just like wants you to be in the moment.
Does the tap room have food too? Can you-
Yeah, so the bar menu is totally different from the fine dining
Okay.
12 course.
So
thing.
it does have other food, not
So
just
there's
chocolate
burgers,
cakes and
There's burgers, there's chocolate cake.
oysters. Is there oysters and chocolate cakes
There's
still?
there's definitely like some skirt steak. There's like a $40 sea bass This kind of thing.
No.
This is Band of Bohemia-ish.
Yeah.
Right?
How's that working out for that?
I went to Band of Bohemia once on my birthday.
That's everyone. Everyone's gone once on their birthday.
So he's making it a special occasion. So this is a special occasion brewery, right? Like I think I might have been to what do you call it? That Moody Tongue in Pilsen. I think I went there like once, maybe twice. It's by Sox Park, so I probably went 3 times.
I've rolled up on my bike before to that one. Am I rolling up on my bike to this one? No, it's also like too far to just go to, just on a whim.
Yeah, I think when you're, I don't know, when I'm in Pilsen, I'm next to Bridgeport. Actually, South Loop, where he's at now, is not far from where he was.
Right, and it's not that far, but it's on the other side of Expressway, and it's past the stuff that takes place.
It's past the South Loop stuff.
Right, and then past the Bridgeport stuff.
Because if you're in Pilsen, you can kind of seamlessly go to Bridgeport. If you're in Pilsen.
Right.
But if you're in South Loop, it's not the same transition. Yeah,
No.
It's kind of. We're not trying to be like
downers on this.
But it's not, up to this point, it's not something you would do. Like, hey, I'm in South Loop, let's go to Bridgeport. That's not something you do. But if you're in Pilsen, you would go to Bridgeport, and it's not a big deal. Yeah. Even though it's just across the highway, that's still true. What you're saying is true. Yeah. If I'm in South Loop, I'm in South Loop. It's like, all right, cool. I'm going to probably scoot a little north. I might stop into, the English spot that won the Irish spot. I just did a story there. The Irish spot that won Poutine Fest a couple times in a row.
Okay.
The wife's Irish and the husband's Canadian.
Okay.
I might stop in there. The Gauge.
The Gauge, yeah.
I might stop into the Gauge, and then I might go to West Loop after that, and then I might take my ass home after that.
Yeah, I don't. Looks nice. I want to know more about it. If and when I get there, I don't know. That's my problem. I'm definitely not going in now that it's winter. I'm gonna throw that. It's gonna take me a lot to go to Moody Tongue.
I'm gonna probably go down there and see what's up.
All right. I need someone else to go.
It's an interesting play. It's an interesting play. I root for that space because that space is dope. It's got some history on it too.
Yeah.
It was like an Oldsmobile dealership, and the Bader was there. And instead of making it, the guy who owned it wanted to turn it into condos, and Bader talked him out of it.
Yeah.
And then they made a brewery with Bader Bader died, but now instead of it being condos again, it's another brewery. So I kind of root for the space.
No, totally. I want to see Moody Tongue make it. Bader didn't work out there.
But this is a tough play.
And the Moody Tongue's beer is good. I bet the food is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a distance thing because I will go to other places, but it's that just seems impractical to me on some level. It's just not, I don't know. It's too close and too far away at the same time, right?
Brad's insane. You know what it reminds me of a little bit? What was that spot? They're from Grand Rapids. Hopcat.
Yeah.
So Hopcat had this really cool bar on Clark.
Tons of beer.
Dude, leather tufted fucking cherry red.
Very hard to park there.
Fucking Miles Davis paintings, 100 beers on tap. The space was dope. And for whatever reason, over there, the reason it didn't work is because there's no parking, like Brad said, but then also it's in a part of town where people don't just come hang out for at a spot all night,
right?
For beer, it's kind of a bar hop thing when you're that far east. Mm-hmm. You're in between Fullerton and Diversey on fucking Clark,
right?
So it didn't work out, even though it was a gorgeous space and what seemed to be an ideal spot because there's other businesses around. It just simply didn't work, and we're not saying this is that. But
it's a weird spot. It's
a weird spot.
Not that their other spot was good either. It was also a weird spot.
Yeah. I'm curious.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm curious.
I haven't seen very many people talk about it besides the announcement this past week. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it makes me want to look up what the other Michelin star restaurants are around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a restaurant like oasis, like it's a place that people know to go to good restaurants there. Maybe I'm out of that loop.
Yeah. You fix that parking, and you're off to a good start. You fix that goddamn parking situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, cheers to J.R. Rubin and the crew, man.
Oh.
I like the Emperor's Saison, the lemon Saison. I like
Yeah, that's
that.
good.
Yeah. Anheuser-Busch is in the news. They acquired the remainder of the Craft Brewers Alliance. Craft Brewers Alliance was like 11 or so breweries.
Kona. It has Widmer in it. It has Red Hook. Lots of others. Basically, AB bought this very cheap. They already had a percentage of it previously.
Yeah.
They have stolen market share from these breweries. They lost value, and AB came in and took it.
Exactly. So the AB bought the 69% that they didn't own already.
Yeah. After they made sure they couldn't
Yeah.
sell their beer very far.
So it's a public company. So they bought 19 million shares. That's the equivalent of about $320 million for this sale. So this makes Anheuser-Busch the largest craft brewery in the world since 2012. So this is what it breaks down to, right? And Hot Notes with his crazy ranting ass, and Good Beer Hunting. They both talked about this. But this was I think this was an interesting quote where it said 5 years ago AB had just 2 craft breweries. They had Goose Island, 375 barrels a year, 375,000 barrels a year, and Blue Point in New York, about 60K a year.
Okay.
Right. That was 5 years ago. Now today, 5 years later, they have 2 million barrels in craft beer. Right. So, this moves them into the Boston beer. Boston beer has always moved the needle in the craft category with barrels a year. So, Boston beer is like 2-3 million a year, and now AB's right there with all the breweries they acquired, like 13. They got 13 or so.
Yeah, this kind of goes back to this is why I drink Chicago beer. I want to make sure the breweries here succeed. Like, I will go and drink the Goose Island beer for free at FoBAB. I would rather buy the Half Acre beer. I would rather buy the Old Irving beer, the Alarmist beer. Making sure I'm supporting the players here, so either they have an opportunity for AB to give them a lot of money, or they can succeed and not lose market share to AB.
No. Kona was at the top of this list. They grew by 19% last year. Windermere Brothers, you said that. Washington's Red Hook. And then we get into breweries I don't know shit about. Florida's Winewood Brewing, Wynwood, Massachusetts Cisco, North Carolina, and some other shit. So there's that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Half Acre, Benthic ticket sales go on sale this week.
Did you win the lottery?
I did win the lottery.
Nice.
So we'll be drinking Benthic no matter what happens on the 15th. Yeah. They had vanilla, apple brandy. Vanilla's a new one this year.
Okay.
Apple brandy, and then a double dose, which now they're calling double. Yeah.
Double.
So Benthic is a coconut coffee barrel-aged stout.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah. And then the variants are a play on that. So toasted coconut and coffee and a barrel. That's Benthic. And then 1, 2, 3 variants. I think we talked about them all. Yeah. Speaking of Half Acre, the Chicago Readers had their Best of Chicago awards recently, and no surprise here.
Half Acre's winning out.
Yeah, man. Half Acre's winning out, and we'll quickly run through some awards. Best Chicago beer was Daisy Cutter, and actually the best Chicago brewery was Revolution.
Shit.
And
Okay.
Half Acre was the runner-up. The best brew pub was Half Acre.
Okay.
Runner-up was Band of Bohemia.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
everybody's favorite
Favorite birthday spot.
birthday spot. Yeah, so that was cool. Favorite beer bar was Maria's with the Beer Temple.
Makes sense.
Coming in a second. Yeah. And if anyone's wondering what the best tiki bar was. It was Lost Lake.
Of course. Is there another tiki bar?
Runner-up was 3 Dots in a Dash. The dude who
guess.
started Lost Lake started at 3 Dots in a Dash.
Yeah.
But the third one I didn't know about was Hala Kahiki Lounge.
Okay.
That's the only reason I brought that up, because I didn't know about that.
All right.
So, yeah. Oh, finally in news, man. Pilsner Urquell turned 177 years old this week.
That shit is old. That is old.
God damn it, Brad. What are we doing?
Just rambling on about beer forever. All right. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Nick, where can people find you? Get in touch.
Right on,
here.
man. I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
And I'm on Twitter at BRAD. Chicago Beer Pass is on Twitter at Chicago Beer Pass. Instagram as well. Look for pictures from Rev. Maybe Nick goes to Moody Tongue, but I'm not going.
Dude, I got to go see what's up. I need to go down there, see what's up. We should take the brew bus there to Beta Brow.
Oh, okay.
I just want to see the transition, see what's going on out there.
Okay. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Take care.
Cheers.